You guys, we have another update in the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni lawsuit. Of course, this is something that happens literally every single week, but there has been a lot that has been recently said about this, and we're going to break it all down. We've been following the lawsuit between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni ever since the behind-the-scenes fallout from their movie It Ends With Us became public. And for a while now, there have been whispers, like very low-key mentions, that Taylor Swift might somehow be involved, especially because her name was actually included in Justin's original legal filing. And this week, those whispers turned into a scream because Taylor has officially been subpoenaed. Yes, like legally pulled into this lawsuit, not rumored, not speculated, not name dropped in a group chat, actually subpoenaed, and it has fans spiraling. So let's rewind a little bit and break down what led to this moment. In his complaint, Justin talked about how Blake wanted to have more and more control over the movie It Ends With Us, and how when it came to the rooftop scene, Blake had written her own version of it and then showed it to him for review. And at a meeting at her penthouse she lives in with her husband Ryan Reynolds, Ryan was praising Blake's work apparently, and allegedly Taylor Swift was there too. And apparently she was saying that she loved what Blake wrote. Now, the thing is, according to the complaint, Justin had originally told Blake what she wrote was good and the final version would probably be a blend of what originally was written and what she had written, which she took offense to and went on a whole rant about her past experiences working on projects where her work was not seen the way that she wanted it to be, or she wasn't credited the way that she wanted to be. And Justin, in talking about, Ryan and Taylor being present, it seemed he was trying to say in his complaint that he felt that she was using her A-list connections and the people close to her in her life as this sort of like pressure on Justin of like, see, my husband Ryan Reynolds and my best friend Taylor Swift think that what I wrote was great. So, and later when they were texting, this was a big quote that had gone around, but he had included in his complaint these messages from Blake, and one said, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons, for better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. You will too, I can promise." And it seemed that these dragons were the A-listers in her life. So the moment Taylor was even mentioned in this lawsuit, fans started asking questions like, is this going to affect her friendship with Blake? Was Taylor aware she was being cited like this? Did she actually read a script, or was her name being used without realizing it? And then more recently, people noticed something that totally added fuel to the fire. Travis Kelce, yes, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, unfollowed Ryan Reynolds on Instagram, and that little unfollow sparked a whole wave of theories that maybe something is going on behind the scenes between Taylor and Blake. And last month, there were all these reports from people writing that the two of them were experiencing friendship troubles at the beginning of this legal battle after Taylor was first mentioned. But according to people last month, they claimed that her and Blake were able to work things out. They wrote, Lively 37 referred to the pop star 35 as one of her dragons in an alleged text exchange, according to a complaint Baldoni filed in January, which claimed that Swift had pressured him to accept rewrites on the movie. The latest development in Lively vs. Wayfair Studios is the reported possibility that Swift could be among those served with subpoenas. Blake knew she and Taylor would come back from this at some point, and that their friendship wasn't done for good, the insider says of the legal difficulties. Taylor was really hurt by this situation, so she's relieved they were able to recover from this and put it all behind them because it wasn't something she took lightly, they added. But fast forward to this week, Taylor's team confirms that she has now officially been subpoenaed to testify in the case between Blake and Justin, and her team hardly ever wants to put out a statement, so this is a really big deal. They released a statement making it clear that Taylor had no role in the production of It Ends With Us, beyond the fact that she licensed her song My Tears Ricochet to be used in the film. According to TMZ, a spokesperson for Taylor tells TMZ, Taylor Swift never set foot on the set of this movie. She was not involved in any casting or creative decisions. She did not score the film. She never saw an edit or made any notes on the film. She did not even see It Ends With Us until weeks after its public release and was traveling around the globe during 2023 and 2024, headlining the biggest tour in history. The rep adds, the connection Taylor had to this film was permitting the use of one song, My Tears Ricochet. Given that her involvement was licensing a song for the film, which 19 other artists also did, this document subpoena is designed to draw public interest by creating tabloid clickbait instead of focusing on the facts of the case. People have been going back and forth watching old interviews from When It Ends With Us was first doing press and all the times the cast had mentioned Taylor's name.
I mean, honestly, she was with me on this experience the whole time. All on it seemed like she really lived this with me. Yeah, she was, she's a person who shows up.
That Taylor may have had some influence in getting.
Yes, she did. Yeah, I know. I don't even know if I'm meant to be saying it, but I'm saying it. Yeah, she was a helpful part of the process of the audition, which I found out later after I got it, and that rocked my.
She told me Taylor Swift helped her get the role, like signed off on her audition.
I had brought in, I was casting, and I had actually brought in and showed her casting tape to Blake and Taylor, and they were both like, "Yes, her." And that's a true story.
I feel like at the core of it, Taylor Swift was not trying to manipulate anybody into making any sort of decisions on this movie. She just happened to be places around Blake and Justin because she's friends with Blake Lively. And so she read Blake's script and was probably like, I like it, when Justin was there. And I don't think there was anything deeper to it. Maybe in Blake's mind, there was something deeper to it, but I don't think her saying that there was anything deeper other than, oh, I really like what my friend wrote. I want to support her and tell, the person in charge here that I like my friend's work. And I think in the case of Justin asking about, Isabella casting her, it was just kind of like, oh, what do you think about this? And she liked her. And it's not this deep thing that Taylor Swift had this big hand in It Ends With Us. Otherwise, you bet your bottom dollar she would have been credited way more in the credits because Taylor loves some credit. Now that Taylor Swift has been officially subpoenaed in the lawsuit between Blake and Justin, it means she is legally required to participate in the case, whether that involves testifying in court, giving a sworn deposition, or providing relevant documents. While it's not guaranteed she'll have to appear at trial, there's a possibility if her testimony is deemed important. It's also likely she could be asked to give a deposition, which is basically a formal interview under oath with lawyers present. Her legal team, however, may challenge the subpoena or try to limit it. I'm sure they will, especially since they've already criticized it as a publicity stunt aimed at using her fame to draw attention to the case. Either way, Taylor's involvement adds massive public pressure and scrutiny to an already high-profile case, and whether or not she ends up testifying, her name being pulled into this legal drama is already having a major impact. This week, Blake Lively's lawyer, Mike Gottlieb, also spoke out more about the trial set for March. People wrote, yes, Gottlieb said when asked if Lively will testify, the ultimate moment for a plaintiff's story to be told is at trial. We expect that to be the case here with Lively. So we would, of course, expect her to be a witness at her trial. Of course, she's going to testify. He also claimed she wouldn't be the only one to speak out, writing, there are individuals that were witnesses to or experienced misconduct that is relevant to Miss Lively's claims, Gottlieb asserts. We expect their testimony, particularly about what took place on set, will come out through live witness testimony. With discovery underway, both parties will begin questioning those involved. In discovery, they'll have an opportunity to ask Miss Lively questions, Gottlieb says. Likewise, we will have the opportunity to take the depositions of the defendants. Beyond witness accounts, Lively's legal team insists their case will also rely on evidence. In addition to live testimony, the legal team plans to present documents and statements from producers, Sony Pictures, and other eyewitnesses. In regards to the case, though, with this becoming so widely talked about, her lawyer seems to believe the conversation has strayed away from the main focus of the lawsuit, and he said, we think there have been a lot of distractions put up to deflect attention from the retaliation campaign that was launched against her, he claims, and we expect and hope that in discovery, we'll have an opportunity to really focus on what we believe to be the core part of the case, which is that this retaliation campaign was launched against Miss Lively for her having raised concerns about harassment. And as of right now, it's unclear if Ryan Reynolds will testify. Blake and Ryan's legal team is trying to dismiss the claims regarding him, but we will just have to wait and see. Every week, more and more information just keeps coming out. I want to know what you guys think about this latest update and what Taylor Swift's team has had to say. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.